What's up, everybody? I wanted to make a little video talking about what we mean when we say our plate loadable mace is the only mace you need to buy. So recently we had some good conversation on one of our posts about the affordability of our mace versus maybe a small set of maces and kind of what makes the most sense. Which, no shade at the guy that was making the comments. He's a super good mace swinger, probably one of the best in North America, and smart guy. And I totally understand where he's coming from. And I talked to him quite a bit, and he makes a pretty good point of being not affiliated with any manufacturer just so he can keep himself unbiased about this sort of stuff and just try to really be on the side of the consumer, I guess, which is, a noble thing he's doing. But kind of the point he made, and I just, looking back, I didn't quite get my point across, or we didn't get our point across quite the way we wanted. And the thing with our mace is, sure, you can buy some, a handful of lighter weight maces, get you up to 30 pounds or so, from a retailer that gets them from China for less than, say, ours, the medium loading pin, and some brand new plates, and we could go on and on about the plates because I've only bought 2 plates brand new, and I have probably 400 pounds of 1-inch plates in my gym. So that's a thing. But one of the main things I try to stress with our mace and the way plate loadable maces work is these 2 little guys right here are kind of one of the most important things, So we got, this is a 3 pound, but 2.5, and this is a 1.25 pound. So like a 1 kg, half kg, and all you need, say you get, 4 or 5 5-pound plates, then all you need is one of these, or both. And now you have taken those, technically 5 different weights with those 5-pound plates. You add one of these in there, and now you got 10 more. And then you add one of these in there, and then you got 10 more there. And then now you got both. The multiples just go on and on and on forever. And one of them, so that right there, these 2 relatively super cheap plates can take a small stack of 5-pound plates and turn it into 40 to 50 different loading options, and then you get yourself a 10-pound plate, get yourself one 7.5-pound plate. You throw that in there, not only is it going to change the weight increments, but it's going to change the way the mace swings because the load changes, which throwing one 10-pound plate in there isn't the most dynamic or noticeable change, but it's a change. You will feel it, especially once you get pretty good with the mace and you're used to it. Your body will tell the difference between 5s and 10s, or you get yourself a bunch of 2.5s. All of these different loading options change the way the mace feels and the way it works, and it just gives you unlimited loadability. You're not stuck going 4-kilogram jumps, which for mace swinging, especially when you're new, is a lot. I recommend everybody when they start gets at least one 2.5, because if you're only swinging 10 pounds on the end, you'll feel this. You will feel the 2.5-pound plate, and that's just how you want to build the progression of moving from one mace to the next. Is you want to do it very gradually, because the impact on your tendons and your connective tissues is extreme, especially when you're learning. So anyway, that's what I wanted to say about these. And then one other crucial aspect of our mace is that we have the loading pin. This is a 1-inch by 8 national coarse thread, which is insanely common. So you can literally make any head you want. And as long as you securely attach a 1-inch bolt to it, it'll thread into our handle. And that's one of my favorite things about it. There's a lot of us out there that have the ramjet heads that Mike Ramjet made, or Mike Ricole made. and they're concrete, and he cast a 1-inch bolt inside of the concrete, and they're awesome, you know. So the loading potential for the CK Mace is endless. Like, there's never going to be a point where it stops, because you could take pieces of wood and drill a hole through them, get a 1-inch bolt through it. You could take concrete, you could take any medium you can think of, and if you could put a 1-inch hole in it, you could put a 1-inch bolt through it, and then you could put it on the end of our handle. So anyway, the long and the short is, you're not just buying a few select weights with our mace. You're buying basically unlimited maces with it. And don't forget, it goes, we have a video where I loaded 10-pound plates on each of our loading pins, and I got it to around 120 pounds with 10-pound plates on our longest pin. And there's not really anybody swinging 120 pounds. So the sky's the limit at this point with what you can put on our mace. And I'm excited to see where people can take it. I'm excited to see where I can take it. You know, as long as I stay healthy, as long as everybody stays healthy, we could keep pushing this thing and just see where we can go. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So anyway, just wanted to get that out there. You know, it's important to us that everyone realizes that, yeah, there are cheaper options and directions you can go, but you're not going to get the same value that you'll get with this, because it will take you very, very little money to buy a 2.5 or a 1.25, and it just changes everything. That gives you just so many micro adjustments you can use as you progress in your mace swinging journey. So anyway, let us know your thoughts in the comments and ask any questions you got, and we'll see you on the next video.